Boom, shakalaka.
All right, we're live.
Boom, shakalaka. I'm on, like Donkey Kong, that microphone, that backwood, that bone, that bitch in the dome, that go through the bone. I came here stoned, I was drinking on some Mickeys, now we on Patron, I'm on. I knew it cause they bringing my phone, that's why my answering machine tell them leave me alone. I'm getting blown off the map, back to back, spinning blocks. These little niggas looking at me like I'm under their knocks. Keep gas cocked, I'm on, they better watch their dome. I bring them off heroin, faster than methadone, your number one nigga, motherfucking cutthroat. I ain't on no hard drugs, somehow that gun smoke, that bro. Every night the rookie crow, every morning I be on the block all night when it's storming, when it's raining, it's pouring, the fiends coming through. They be on some different shit than me, ain't you? I'm home, that good stuff through the crowd, so I don't really know what I am, so high, number one. To the DJ to play my piano. I got that funky doja. I'm twisted, lifted, late. Roll up the windows and easy. You and your homies rolling. Now let's get to smoking. In 2007, so much for pants, more sand up in my freezer than beaches and pork. Rolling with the assassin, solving this double hashing. Dig a hole to plant a seed, then get to shovel dabbing. And I just killed another box of woods, burning through them like a wildfire when I got the goods. Mixing jars and gooey resin, crystal covered buds. Rolling blunts up in the bends with Bleezy and the super thug. Been on fire since I got the torch. We blowing up like firecrackers on the 4th. Cutting so to the DJ to play my piano.
So we're on. Here we are. I mean, you see, I'm not Subcool, but I'm going to sit in for Subcool today. He's on the road. He's out getting the High Times hash samples. I'm sure he's having a really good time right now. I just seen his Instagram. He's checking into a dope hotel and looks like he's about to get really fucking high all night long. So tonight we have Josh from Xtreme Gardening. He's going to tell us a little bit about what he's got going on over with them, with Mykos, Asos, their tea. They have a couple other products that we were just talking about over in the Hangout. So this should be a very, very good show. Of course, we got Madiger. He helps me put together everything. Always, the show wouldn't be what it is without him. Let's see. I can never see with these fucking sunglasses. So let's get to it. So Josh from Xtreme Gardening. Xtreme Gardening launched in late 2008 as a new retail division of reputable Reforestation Technologies International. Xtreme Gardening brings highly effective, beneficial biological inoculants to the home gardener. RTI is best known as the United States' oldest running and most renowned producer of Mycorrhizal Inoculum, providing the world with a high-quality biological inoculant. Josh, how are you? How's it going, brother? I got you muted.
Cool, man. We got it.
You should be good now.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, stoked to be on the show, man. Thanks for having us, dude. Hopefully, Sub's getting all, nice, relaxed in the room down in LA. We know it gets stressful down there. But
Yep.
stoked to be on the show,
No
man.
sound.
Thanks for having me.
No sound. You're jamming. I can see your mouth moving, but no sound. Hold on.
I didn't do it.
I can hear him. Well, let's see. Okay, he muted you. Can you hear me, Will?
Try to unmute yourself there again.
Can you hear me, Will? Right. Looks like Lim Man can hear us.
I can hear you, Madiger.
You got me?
Okay.
Yep, we're all good. Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Sweet. How you doing, brother? Sorry about all that.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Stoked to be on the show, man.
Fucking cool. Hell yeah. So tell me a little bit about you guys, man. I mean, let's treat me like the dumb first time grower that would come in and say, hey, why the hell should I use Xtreme Gardening? Why should I use Mykos and Asos and teas and what's up?
Dude, I couldn't have really kind of started out better with your description of our company being one of the oldest, longest running, mycorrhizal producers, in the United States. We have some practices, that we do differently than anybody else. It's been able to keep us, ahead and on the forefront of technology and, what we're doing with our mycorrhizas. So, not only have we been in it the longest, you look in the shelves, we have the most volume out there for a reason. We pride ourselves on science-based products and, bringing products to the market that are going to perform to your standards.
Oh, dude, you're fucking everywhere on the shelf. I mean, every hydro store I go in, I see your guys' logo. I see your guys' badass fucking artwork. I mean, you got to be doing something right. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, that all starts with the product, man.
Right? We can only wrap good packaging around a good fucking product. If we try to, we can't make shit look cool. Maybe we might be able to for a little bit. So tell us about your 4 products. I mean, let's start with Mykos and Asos. I mean, what do I need Mykos and Asos for, and when should I use them, and what makes your Asos and Mykos better than the next guys?
Yeah, man, that's a good question, dude. We'll just kind of start at the first one, the beginner, man. It's Asos. We're Asos is really starting to take off in the propagation world. What Asos is a nitrogen fixing bacteria. So it converts atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form for your plant. So it's a nitrogen source that's not dependent on a mineral input. So it's a cool, bacteria to get into your system. Now, really the main benefit of using Asos is, through its nitrogen fixing process, it actually is being shown that it may increase indole 3 acetic acid, or IAA, which is a primary rooting hormone in most plants. And this rooting hormone really kind of focuses on the lateral growth of the top feeder roots, those fine haired roots that most of the cannabis farmers, that's the bread and butter of the root zone. You want to get those intake roots growing as quick as you can.
And most people don't know that either. I mean, most people think they see some roots and everything is good, but we need these feeder roots so that we can have a good, healthy starter plant.
I say it all the time, man. I don't know about you guys, but I've never pulled up a good plant with shitty roots. It just didn't happen.
All right. No shit. I like it. Fucking cool. So, I mean, have you, this sounds like to me, it's a potential cloning solution. I mean, have you guys ever thought about creating a cloning solution?
Well, so that actually brings up another good point, man, is, we have looked into cloning solution developments, but really if you just add the right ratios of water to the Asos as it's packaged right now, you can make a cloning gel replacement. Depending on your cloning methods, you can either pre-treat your cloning cubes or you can put it in your cloning machine. It's very versatile in the propagation world. So if you wanted to make a cloning gel replacement, dude, it's super simple. 2 parts water, 1 part Asos. Take your cuts, soak it for 10 to 15 seconds, and then put it into your treated cubes or your machine, right? One of the coolest benefits of this product is that because it's a nitrogen fixing bacteria, it's getting your plant nitrogen before your plant has roots. So if you've done a lot of propagation, you know that your roots or your cuts, they're going to yellow out at day 7, 8, or 9. They're using nutrition, right? Using Asos as a more natural rooting promoter you're going to keep nice green foliage all the way through your cloning process. So you're not going to have that first point of stress. You know, if you think about it, when you take your cuts, and every transplant is a point of stress. So you'll have healthier, stronger plants and genetics, the least you can stress that out. So in starting, you know, with a good rooting phase, good propagation phase is the key to, you know, the rest of the plant's health.
Fuck yeah, it is, dude. I mean, you can have clones that go shitty, and Jesus Christ, I mean, you're struggling with this plant all the way through its life cycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, when people are taking clones, I see you guys have a wettable powder versus just a dry powder.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we have our 2 different delivery forms. We have our Mykos, which is granular, and our Mykos WP. Really, the granulated is formulated to really use anytime you have access to your roots. So anytime you're transplanting, or, you know, you have the bare roots, we want you getting that in direct contact with your root system. Now, we made the WP because we all know when you're growing big outdoor, you know, your roots, they're growing, you know, sometimes 10, 15 feet after your final transplant. And as strong as our life forms are that we put into our packaging, you know, sometimes your roots are going to grow quicker than the mycorrhizal colony can keep up. So you're going to want that late season inoculation. So that's when we came out with the wettable powder, which is our granular made into a finer particulate, so it'll permeate the soil better and access those roots. So it's just a different delivery system.
So you're more wanting us to use, I mean, we got some of these companies that want us to use Asos and Mykos, small dose every feed. You more want us to use them during transplanting when they need the most extra juice.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Hit it at transplant to get the biggest effect, but if you hit it bi-weekly after that, you'll still see benefits. You'll still see root production. You'll still see good root inoculation, just little kind of, you know, bursts of life, bursts of health.
Now, have you ever done a side by side where you guys are giving Asos and Mykos every other feeding compared to just to transplants, or maybe without Asos and Mykos? I'm sure you've done without and with. I would be curious to see, you know, Asos and Mykos usually are a big cost to our garden. So,
you know, the thing with them being a higher cost is, you know, it's a premium product. But these products used the right way will actually make it so that you can reduce your other mineral costs. So you can use less, you know, nutrients if that's what you're trying to do, or less rooting promoters. So these products, they're premium because they are made in the highest standards, right? They're made with some of the highest quality life with the highest, you know, concentration of life in the packaging. So it's kind of all in one reason why to go ahead and continue that usage is getting the effect to reduce your overall costs and keep the plant health and your overall end product as good as possible.
So that actually brings me into a good segue. I mean, if I'm curious with your product, do you know, I look through your product line here, and can I use just your products on a cannabis plant from start to finish, or, you know, the Mykos, the tea, and what's the other one?
Oh,
Your Carb, correct. So have you just used these 4 products on a plant from start to finish, and what kind of results did you have?
So you can have great results with them. Now, that being said, with cannabis growing, a lot of times, you know, you're trying to get the biggest fruits and flowers possible. So to develop those fruits and flowers, you're going to need a lot of nutrition to the plant. And the thing about our products is, you know, we're a biological company. We're not a nutrient company. So we're not providing the plant with the 16 key minerals and elements that the plant needs to survive. What we're doing is we're helping create a better communication between the plant and the soil which hold those minerals. The communication between those between those 2 entities being the organisms. So we're creating that better communication to create better nutrient efficiency, not really providing the plant with nutrients itself.
So something like your product and a super soil. So with the plant survive on super soil.
Compost teas, you'd be perfect, man.
Yeah.
But you have to have those minerals available somewhere.
Of course. I like it. Looks like we had Sub pop in. Sub, what's up, brother? How you doing? How's California?
Good, brother. Doing fantastic, man. Just got in and got our samples and tested the first one. Looks like you're holding the fort down really well.
Yeah. Well, we're talking with Josh here from Xtreme Gardening. We're talking Asos and Mykos, buddy.
Cool. You guys keep at it. I just wanted to watch. Thanks again for standing in for me.
Of course. It is
So-
kind of crazy being the second weed nerd here, let me tell you. I was a little late. But it's cool.
It looks like we got a guy in chat, Fumador. He wants to know that the off-the-shelf mycorrhiza, does it take longer than the cycle of the cannabis plant to actually propagate and colonize?
That's a good question, man. It all depends on the species of mycorrhiza. So typically the endomycorrhizas, they're going to colonize in a much quicker time fashion. Some can colonize as quick as, 10 days, 2 weeks, and then some can take, 4, 6, 8 weeks to colonize. Now getting to the other side of the spectrum, the ectomycorrhiza. Ectomycorrhiza takes much longer to colonize a plant system, and it's much more specific which organisms are going to interact with different host plants. So on the ecto level, the quickest we've seen an ecto colonize a plant is within 6 months. And that's the way it's mechanically operating with the plant. It's still not delivering the nutrients the same way that a true arbuscular endomycorrhiza would do. So depending on which product, which life's in that bag, there's a lot of different time frames that the mycorrhiza can go ahead and create that relationship. Now, the mycorrhiza that we use, the Rhizophagus inradices, that has been shown to be the most aggressive and dominant species out of all the mycorrhizas, and it does colonize the quickest that we found.
Okay.
Alrighty, cool.
I think that answered that.
Here we go.
So, I was asking you a question earlier, and I would love to get into it. I know you only have so much time here, so I really want to talk regulations with you. We're hearing a lot about, our cannabis has to be, when we test it, below a certain amount of CFUs of beneficial bacteria and all the good stuff that we use when we grow organically. Have you guys done any tests that would, using your full regimen and showed what kind of microbial CFUs is left inside the cannabis when it's done?
With our products specifically in the line right now, they don't really operate in that same way. They're not migrating from the rhizosphere up to the flower tissue. I think with these regulations, they're more so in place for kind of the biofungicides and the biopesticides. Because what we are seeing out there is, different entities using certain bacterias. We call them opportunistic bacterias. I mean, they can make the jump from life form to life form. So say you're using, a certain, bacterium on your plant to control a pathogen. Well, that bacterium can also make the jump to your lungs and, start, creating respirational issues. So that's where these regulations are coming in. And to be honest, I think rightfully so. Now, it's hard to say which CFU you want to land on, which will be detrimental or not, because, again, all the different life forms, all the different abundance of life forms, that you can't really have like a broad statement for all of them. But this regulation, especially with some products out in the industry right now that, could have some issues down the line, it's I think overall a good thing. But with our products, we're going to never really affect the tissue samples of your plant, at least.
Dude, that's huge. I mean, we've asked probably 2 or 3 different companies this same exact question, and we can never get an honest answer. They'll say, well, we don't think it would test for this, or we haven't tested for it. But regulations are really going to drive the way that we all do business. We learn every day of a new regulation between California and Nevada, and we have to deal with these fucking things if we want to stay legal and make money. And you guys are in big business as well, so we kind of ride or die on this, So
Absolutely.
Good answer, dude. Good answer. I'm gonna do some more research on that. See what else I got for you. Dude, badass show so far. I mean, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. So tell me about the giant pumpkins, man. I mean, I was just on there. How long does one of those giant fucking pumpkins take to grow,
Oh, man, so all those pumpkins, dude, they're grown in one season, right?
No way.
I mean, you think cannabis growers are passionate, dude? You got to get in with this the giant pumpkin growing community. Like the amount of time and attention and babying of each pumpkin, they'll put carpet under each runner that goes out, feed each flower site, man. They put a lot of love into their craft, man, and you got to love seeing the passion when they do it. But that was actually what kind of got our start, or our rise to popularity about 25 years ago with the company was being really embedded with the giant pumpkin growing community, which we still very much pride ourselves on. And we couldn't ever be where we were without that experience, man. But those giant pumpkins, dude, it comes down to, dude, it's just like growing big outdoor. It comes down to genetics and the right climate for that year, right? So it comes down to the right seed in the right year. So, man, they're impressive.
No longer are we hugging trees, we're hugging big giant pumpkins, right? I mean,
oh man. I'll take it.
That's way cool. So what is, I mean, you said it comes down to genetics. So just kind of as a off question here, what's the most giant fucking pumpkin out there? What's it called?
Oh man, I'll shoot you true, man. I'm a cannabis guy, dude.
all right. No, it's I want to know.
I'd hate to be the guy that butchers the Latin name for the right seeds.
That's cool. No, that's cool. All right, so we can segue into the next thing. So who is your most targeted customer? Is it us as the cannabis consumer? Your website shows a lot of fruits and vegetables. You do a lot of stuff with pumpkins. Who is your bread and butter? Is it us? Is it them?
Well, you got to really consider two parts of that question. I work for a company, RTI, but Xtreme is a brand within RTI. So I represent Xtreme Gardening. And so cannabis and hydroponic community, I mean, that's what built us. That's what this brand was made for. And that's who we're going after. That's who we want to serve. And that's why I get to come on your show and talk to you guys on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. But my company, RTI, as a whole, we actually touch every sector of agriculture. We work with commercial growing all throughout the United States, Canada. We do some work down in Central America as well. So we work commercial agriculture. We do professional landscaping. Being a true manufacturer, we actually create our bacteria and our mycorrhiza on our facility. We actually do a lot of business to business work for other people as well. So, if you guys wanted to create, your own branded, dank bag of mycorrhiza and some fertilizers, we could work at that level as well. So we really touch every part of agriculture. If you got roots, we've got a way to work with you.
No, that's a good way to put it too. Hell yeah. You got roots, we will work with you. Fuck yeah. I like that shit a lot. Oh shit! Let me see what else I got for you, Josh.
Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying.
Look at here, like some of the giant pumpkins, man. One seed alone is $8. It's almost the price of a cannabis seed.
Oh yeah. Well, and really, like the real seeds and the real coveted genetics.
They're probably not even out.
No, they don't even release it out, right? That's the one that's just their stash. They'll keep in the fridge for a decade to grow out in the right year. And they'll follow the farmer's almanac to see where it lines up and what's coming, man. It's really an amazing thing to see the amount of passion that's put into that part.
I think we're right behind it. I mean, it sounds like that's an industry that's just ahead of ours. If we kind of look at how they're doing with pumpkins, I mean, we could be doing the same thing with genetics here soon. Who's got the craziest, most purple gooey fucking plant contest? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
that sounds cool. So. Talking about the reforestation a little bit, me and Madiger were talking a little bit earlier, and we were talking about Chernobyl, and we were talking about how you guys have used your product, maybe not in Chernobyl, but to replant trees and to recreate forests and those kind of things. Can you touch base on that a little bit? I know we're kind of probably going backwards.
Oh yeah, not a problem, man. I kind of see where you're going with, the power of fungus in terms of, environmental filtration. Mm-hmm. And we are, we see a lot of articles out there about different forms of fungus, different mushrooms that'll, filter different, contaminations. Some are shown to do some, radioactive contamination filtration. I mean, I believe it's even oyster mushrooms that you can put on an oil slick and it'll consume and filter out the oil slick in the ocean. So there's a lot of really cool, interesting ways to use different fungal species. For us, we're really focused on, our vascular mycorrhiza, the Rhizophagus intraradices, and, other forms of mycorrhiza. So that doesn't really have that much of an application in that side of, the fungal dominance in the world. But, it's a cool frontier of what these biologicals can do. You know, we
like the sky's almost the limit at this point on what they can do. You know,
well, it really is. But the thing is the sky's the limit. But if you think about it, we just identified these microbes 60 years ago. So it's not only have we not even seen the tip of the iceberg, we just saw the iceberg, right? We just realized it was there and then saw the surface level of it.
And we're still finding beneficials too. I mean, we just talked to another group that found a different species inside charcoal or inside the burnt regiments of over in California after the fire. They found a new species of bacteria. So seems like we're still going to find a lot of different shit.
Well, if you think about it, it's evolution. You know, there's a lot of bacteriums that get created in these different environments because there's different stresses and different inputs. What is it? I believe it's the spinosad products that have come out recently in the last few years. They found that bacterium in, like, I think it was the basement of either a sugar plantation or a rum distillery somewhere. Yeah, it was somewhere in like the Caribbean or the Bahamas. They found this new bacterium, and that just gets you to really kind of look big picture that this world's evolving, you know. You nail on the head, like, yeah, we're going to keep finding stuff because not only are we learning how to look and where to look, life goes on. So we're still going to be finding these little pockets of biological surprise.
I mean, that gives me chills, you know, when you think about something that small evolving and adapting and changing and helping better our lives. That's pretty mind-boggling, my friend. I mean, that's fucking crazy to me.
It's a wild world we live in, man. It's a wild, wild world.
That's cool, dude. I mean, it's hard to even know that these things are alive without looking at a microscope and shit, and to think about that they're changing as well.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking nuts. So tell me about your CalCarb. I'm on your website. Sprays, you know, we don't like any sprays that leaves white powder. As soon as Madiger told me about a CalCarb spray, I'm like, fuck, my leaves are going to be white and I don't want to use it, and keep it away from me. Tell me why yours is different than everybody else's.
You know, we use a very exclusive source of calcium carbonate. It's 31% soluble, and the proprietary form that we use, it's very unstable, right? So it breaks down on the leaf tissue and can also leave carbon deposits to help increase natural CO2 intake. So really, what CalCarb is I think some people try to overcomplicate what it is. It's a high quality direct injection of calcium. So who really uses our CalCarb is going to be our cocoa growers, our hydro growers, and actually our commercial tomato growers. So if you're growing in cocoa, you're always chasing calcium, right? You're always chasing it. Using that CalCarb every 2 weeks as maintenance, you're always going to have an abundance of calcium. So you're never going to have that calcium deficiency, which we all know is the gateway deficiency to all other, you know, deficiencies. So we're able to keep your production in place. Now, say you are a cocoa grower and you do come up against that calcium deficiency, using a calcium product in the root zone, sometimes that can take, 2 to 3 days to affect change and get your plant back into production. Using CalCarb, we've seen it affect change overnight, so that you can use it and get your plant back in production. So when you say you don't want to spray anything, especially a CalCarb, because it leaves, the chalky white residue, man, I get you, man. I mean, we're so trained to go look at our ladies, see that white speck when we freak out. It's one of those things that at least we can immediately touch it and know it's calcium. But if you don't like it on your plant, you can rinse it off 36 hours after application. Or you can leave it on. It's not harming your plant at all. But I get it, man. Our gardens have to be,
taking posting pictures and shit. We're putting it on Instagram. People are going to start just nailing us to the wall if they see white leaves. But I get it. I mean, I'm an old cocoa grower, so we were always smashing it with cocoa. And I almost feel like sometimes we give it, or we're always smashing it with calcium. And sometimes I almost felt like I was giving it too much calcium, or I was wasting, too much on CalMag. Sometimes CalMag, I was an advanced nutrients, cocoa, A and B, whatever, 3-part, 2-part. And fuck, I mean, you're always giving it fucking CalMag all the way through.
Oh yeah. It just leaches through that cocoa, man. It doesn't hold it. So you're always chasing it. And I mean, how many times CalMag, you're just dumping quarts of it in your reservoir, man.
So on this CalCarb spray, if you leave it on past the 36 hours, does it still remain active, or does it have a shelf life while it's on the plant?
No, it's pretty much that 36 hours. You've gotten the full benefit of the product.
Okay.
Okay. 36-hour turnaround. And of course, you would not spray this in flowering. Of course.
So you obviously want to avoid spraying it farther and farther into flower. But one of the things I do like to tell, interested customers is that when you spray into flower, a lot of times people will use a foliar and they start spraying the whole plant, the whole canopy, because that's what you're used to doing with prevention. If you are going to foliar into flower, you could be a little bit more conscious of a grower and just hit your fan leaves, because with this Carb product, it's so concentrated. There's so much calcium in there that you only need to hit about 25% of your fan leaves on the plant. So if you do need that calcium boost week 4, when you're really starting to bulk material, bulk flower mass and fruit mass, well, then you can just go in there and be very targeted, hit the bottom size of your biggest fan leaves, and know that you got your plant calcium without damaging your flowers. But I mean, it always comes down to the grower. It comes down to us, our practices, and how we like to perform in our room. But
we're up on chat here. I mean, calcium dripping all over buds and all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, I can just see where this is about to go here. But
oh yeah,
frost here.
So with you guys said you guys aren't a nutrient company, but you and I touched base earlier, and we were talking about you guys do have a nutrient company from what you were telling me, but it's more for commercial vegetables and not really geared towards us as cannabis growers. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Old Truck Organics?
Yeah, so Old Truck Organics is a great brand and product line that we created through RTI. We really developed this to be a little bit more family-friendly, less cannabis-oriented marketing. But what it is it's 25% Mykos and then 75% organic fertilizer. And we have 4 different NPKs. We also have a compost tea and starter packs, little transition packs that you would go ahead and put your transplant whole and plant right on top of. So it's a great at-home organically registered fertilizer with 25% Mykos. Just really developed for a different growing sector, but a great product all around and beneficial to everybody in the boutique and kind of hobby level gardening stage.
I'm pulling up your website now. Most certainly. I mean, who wouldn't want a little starter pack? I mean, the Miracle Grow guys and whatever, just the one product and done. Who wouldn't want just something to get them going and rocking?
Oh yeah, user friendly, man. I like to call our products idiot proof, dude. That's the beautiful thing about it, is you're going to get the highest performance possible for very fair pricing, and you really can't mess it up. I don't know about you guys. I've always had a couple friends and workers in my gardens, and I never really necessarily had the utmost trust in most of them. So
no way.
It's that fail proof line, man.
I love it.
And I can speak for him. I mean,
you used it on your peppers. Tell us, Madiger.
Not just because he's on the show, but like literally, I started some tomatoes 2 months ago, and they're in 5-gallon containers, and I took a handful of the tomato and vegetable fertilizer, and I dug a little hole around the roots, dropped it in there. 3 weeks later, they've almost grown 1.5 feet. Like and the whole soil is all inoculated. You can see all the fuzzy webbing around the top. So it's definitely working.
And what kind of soil are you using?
I'm using just like a homemade compost.
I love it.
Nothing special, and they're rocking. They're loving it. So I'm buying more.
I love it all the time, man. I love selling a product that works, dude.
And it's
OMRI certified. I've seen on your website you're OMRI certified. That must have been quite the feat there.
OMRI and CDFA, man. We really pride ourselves on the CDFA certifications. They seem to be a little bit tighter on kind of regulations. They come in and they audit us several times a year. So we pride ourselves on OMRI, but also that CDFA as well.
Can't wait for it to come to the cannabis industry. I mean, I've looked into a lot with organics, and Sub's head would be fucking spinning off his shoulders right now if he was sitting right next to me, because we use the term organics all the time. And what a lot of people don't know is we can't claim that our cannabis is actually organic, whether we're using your product or the next guy's or no matter what. But there is a few services out there that go off the CDFA certification, the OMRI certification. They'll get us as close to possible and put them up on their website, but it's not the same. I mean, Jesus Christ, it'd be nice if we could just say our shit is organic. We try so fucking hard to make it clean. Why can't we just say that it's organic? But soon, very soon.
Oh yeah. That's
Awesome, brother. Hell yeah. So is there anything else you wanted to tell us? I mean, I've been kind of just crumbling you here. We've been jumping all over back and forth. Is there anything special you wanted to let the weed nerds know that we missed?
Well, you know what, man? I really want to do some plugs real quick to we created a couple other websites for our company. One of the things I love about your guys' show is there's a lot of passionate growers that watch the show and give us their time and attention. And my company, RTI, we actually published all of our scientific studies that we've been involved with, different universities, different farming entities. So I'd like to plug rti-biologicals.com. It's a great website to go get some true scientific data. You know, it's just a really cool tool that I've been given the people in the industry that are a little bit more passionate. Of course, all of our websites, xtremegardening.com, oldtruckorganics.com, RTI or Reforestation Technologies International.com. And then please, guys, check out all of our social media pages, our Instagram, our social media guy, Jose. He's the man. Get on there. Be like, what up, Jose? Savage sent me. You know, just please reach out to us and let us know how we can help your gardens. We're here to educate and, you know, just help spread the good word.
And I know Sub would always be willing to throw, you know, I'm not sure what product he has out there. I'm sure he has your product, but we love to put banners out in the pool garden. We love to shout you guys out. We love to give you guys as much press as we can. So just let us know. Hit me up on the DM or Sub on the DM, and we could always get you guys lined up over here as well. Last but not least, where can we find your product? Or where are you at in Arizona, California? Looks like you have a store locator, correct?
We have a store locator, but we're everywhere, guys. I've been into thousands of grow stores in the world, and I might have found 5 that we're not in. So any grow store that you go into, we're either on the shelf or we are readily accessible. So please support your local grow stores, support your local growers. Let's not lose sight of the community and what built all this, and let's all move forward together.
Oh yeah, Josh, dude, thank you so much for your time and everything you have done for us in the cannabis community, as well as the community as a whole, you know, the organic community as a whole. So we do appreciate it, and I hope we can talk again soon, brother.
All for one, my brother, always.
Thank you, dude. All right, Madiger, so I kind of want to talk about what's going on with, I mean, we're going to switch gears here for a minute, dude. I kind of want to talk about what is going on with fucking Trump, bro. I just seen some shit. Dredd put some shit up on his Instagram. I did some research. I kind of want to take 20 minutes and talk about this. Have you heard about Trump and the Colorado senator going at it, and the Colorado senator holding off some sort of nominees or something from Trump, and now fucking he's not going to fuck with the states anymore? I mean, fuck Jeff Sessions. Is that where we're at?
I kind of saw a bit of that, but I didn't really read too much in it. It was just kind of, you know, something I scrolled past. Let's see here. I can pull it up and see if we.
I was going to say, if you can't, I can pull it up. I mean, me and Victorious Meds, we took a good look at this today, and this is huge for us as cannabis growers. I mean, what is Trump going to do? You know, I'm kind of curious to see what the weed nerds say here. Is he going to legalize fucking cannabis on a national level? Is he just going to leave the fucking states alone? Are we going to get another Cole memo? Are we going to, what the fuck is going to happen? What you got, Dredd?
The thing is, it's
Come tell the weed nerds. Come tell the weed nerds. We got another 30 minutes. We're going to give it all we got, guys. I mean, I got a few different things. I've been cracking ass, fucking killing shit.
So we nerds. So the thing is, it's a state thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't. The attorney general can hate it all he wants. He's a Constitution guy, and so is Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So the Constitution tells you that the state is on their own, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's fucked with anybody yet, you know what I mean, or thus far,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So they're just going to leave it like that. He could hate it all he wants, but the way that the laws and the Constitution is set up, they can't touch it because it's already state by state. It ain't a federal thing, You know what I mean?
So the Colorado, you're saying it's a congressman, right, or is it a senator?
It's some kind of
Okay, so the senator is basically saying this is already in our constitution.
Yeah.
That you're going to leave our states alone. Pretty much, this act of coming after us for enacting our own state laws is unjustified. It's bogus. It's against the Constitution.
Yeah, it looks like it won't be affected by the Department of Justice. So he says.
Right, and Sessions could hate it all he wants, but Trump is not Sessions. Trump is not the way the Session is on cannabis. He's a different beast. You know,
right.
He's from New York. He's more of a liberal, if you will. You know, so he's not against cannabis the way people put him out to be. He wants to go by the book the way the things are.
He's a fucking capitalist. I mean, you know, I'm really fucking blown away how a capitalist can watch fucking states make millions of dollars like we are. I mean, we are fucking crushing it in state fucking taxes. Us, Colorado, California struggling a little bit, Washington. I mean, we are fucking crushing state taxes. These guys are making crazy money. I think I just seen something about Colorado that schools got funded and fucking homeless shelters got money. I mean, there's so much money that fucking Colorado is just fucking forking out money to everybody who fucking needs it.
It only makes sense for a person like Trump, a capitalist and a money guy that wants to better everything, right? Well, then, you know, why, you know, doesn't it just make sense? You know, I mean,
you would think so.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know, and it's been the model that Colorado has, and they started with in Washington. It's working, like you said. The taxes are building. They're helping with the schools, the roads. I mean,
arrests have gone down. We're seeing a little bit of cross state line movement, but not. I mean, you and I aren't seeing it, but we know it exists. We know that it fucking exists anywhere where cannabis is legal. But I mean, if it became legal on a federal level, who fucking cares? You know, why can't we have the Amazon of fucking weed already? Jesus Christ.
Opioid deaths and overdose deaths have dropped in Colorado since the legalization of medical and since legalization of recreational in 2014, the opioid deaths and overdoses have dropped dramatically or drastically.
I can tell you from a personal note. I mean, you know, I've been on probation. I've tried to get different jobs and all that shit throughout my life. And whenever I didn't smoke cannabis, you'd find me at a bar, dude. You know what I mean? You'd find me sitting in a fucking bar, ordering a Jack and Coke, getting fucked up, hanging out with my friends. I mean, I just like the social aspect of. Not only does cannabis help me in my everyday day of life, because you see, I'm sprung all the time. I'm fucking always working, and mine's going a million miles a minute. So cannabis slows me down a lot, which I'm sure it does everybody else. But cannabis is also a social. It's a piece of my social life. You know, I mean, I don't know how to meet people without cannabis. When I meet somebody that doesn't smoke weed, I mean, our conversations aren't as high level. They're not as. I don't connect with them as well. I mean. Cannabis is a way of life for me, so fuck, I don't know, you know.
It definitely levitates your mind, and it has you more on a conscious level, thinking a little bit differently, you know.
I would really hope that these politicians could see why we enjoy cannabis, and you know, that it's not just a drug that we're all trying to get fucked up on, and it is something that actually enlightens our life and sometimes saves people's lives. And you know,
with that being said as well, there is also abuse. You know, you could you know, moderation is moderation. Do people abuse cannabis? Of course they do. Do people do it medically and abuse it medically because they need it? Of course they do. And those are the ones that medically need it more so, right? But that's the problem with an old redneck like Jeff Sessions. He doesn't like people probably like me. I don't seem like I need cannabis.
Right.
And I'm over here busting down dabs, you know, and I want medical cannabis. He's like, fuck you, get a job. And he sees a little girl with the seizure. You don't think he feels sorry for her? He feels sorry for the kid.
I believe in both.
You know, of course I believe in both. It's a free world.
You know,
right? You're chewing your tobacco and drinking your alcohol. Let me do my dabs. But don't block it for me and then let it for them. It should just be free all the way around. Cannabis, alcohol, tobacco, you know, weed. Why doesn't it just leave it all alone, like produce?
Hell yeah.
You know.
What do you use cannabis for, Madiger?
Well, you know, in my state, I can't really use it, but
No, it's all right.
Yeehaw! I'm going to Texas.
That was good, buddy.
But I can root you guys on.
You know
Oh,
what it is.
So what's going on with Texas law? I mean, is anything going to change for you guys? Like, what the fuck is going on with Texas, bro?
The only thing that I know that they have here is a thing called Compassionate Act or Compassionate Use, which means it's only for people that are registered on some sort of state list that have epilepsy.
Okay.
So if they have that, then we have the state gave out 4 licenses to dispense or like a growing facilities. 2 of them have been taken, and the other 2 they're not releasing information on. So I don't know if all 4 have been taken, but I know for sure 1 has been taken, and it's growing maybe like an hour from me. It's an old nursery that is now they're growing in, and then they make that into capsules and like medibles. It's no flower form, and then that gets shipped to some like special pickup location where the patients have to go to pick that up.
So you guys are similar to New York, where they're just saying the worst of the worst you can have cannabis. I mean, you got to have epilepsy, AIDS, HIV, cancer, whatever before you can even use cannabis. I mean, I wonder. I try to dig into New York law, but I mean, I would hope that this goes into RSO and there's some innovation that happens over there. I mean, we're seeing some innovations with RSO where we're seeing cleaner RSO. But shit, I mean, these people that have these issues, they need high level, high amounts of cannabis. So
I believe
regulations don't kill you guys in that aspect.
I believe here it's a high CBD, low THC. So
epilepsy only, it seems like.
Yeah. And I don't know exactly what else it is. I know epilepsy is one of them. I don't know how big the list is because it's really hard to find information on that. Like you have to dig because they don't really release it all. It's most people when you tell them, oh, there's a growing facility here in Texas, they're like, what? But it's you almost have to know about it to know what it's for and how it works.
So no dispensaries? Is the grow through a doctor or a hospital? Is that how you have to?
It's somehow like I researched it to try to see how far I could look into it, and what it seems like is there's the dispensary that's owned by a company in Florida called Knox Medical, and so they have a grow facility in Central Texas, and then they somehow, once the flowers produce there, I don't know if they render it down on site or how it works, but they turn that into like capsules or RSO, and then that gets, I guess it was some dispensary. I don't know how the patients pick it up, but it's not from the grow site.
You see how horrible this is? I mean, I'm asking you, you live in Texas, and you can't even tell me how to get the medicine that a child would need, or you can't even get the medicine that you need if you have chronic pain.
And Lord forbid, like what they charge for it here. I can only imagine.
That's another big thing out here. So that goes into the RSO that we're going to do. I mean, you come out here and you try to get a gram of RSO. A gram of RSO is $50. It might be $30 or $40 if you get 3.5 grams. I think Urban over there has it for 120, and I gotta say they are the guys. But as a medicine, how can it be used? I mean, most of these people that need RSO are on fixed incomes. They don't have $400 or $500. They only have $400 or $500 a week after they pay their bills. Something needs to change. I mean, how the hell do we get these politicians to hear us and say, what the fuck? Let the insurance companies pay some of this money. Do you know who's doing that shit? Canada's doing that shit. I just seen something online where Canada is allowing, or they're building a platform where they will cover, and it's still a super minute amount. I mean, this is such an arbitrary fucking piece of shit number that they're allowing people to use, but they're covering $3,600 a year of people's cannabis through a dispensary. This is fucking Canada. So it reminds me of a time I walked in the dispensary, and Sub and I have talked about this a couple times. I walked in probably about 6 months ago, and an old man was standing next to me, and the old man couldn't really talk very well. He was struggling to get his wallet. He was struggling to use the ATM. His wife's caregiver card wasn't working properly. He has, he really can't afford his medicine as it is, and you know, this conversation almost makes me tear up talking about, because I wanted to help this man. I mean, I knew he was spending all of his money in his fucking wallet. I knew the bud tenders weren't giving him the proper medicine. I mean, the bud tenders are, this is fucking dank and this is fucking fire, and this is an old fucking man that just needs some goddamn RSO or needs some flour to put in his wood pipe or what the hell ever, so that he can finish out his life the way that he wants to finish it out, not be in fucking pain. But the moral of the story is this man walked out broke, confused, and when we fucking got out to the car, he fell trying to get in his fucking car door. Like, what the fuck? I mean, this should bring tears to most people's fucking eyes. Like, we should have a delivery service that can bring an old man his fucking his meds. His insurance should cover this. He should be able to use cannabis instead of Vicodin and fucking bullshit and the shit that's gonna fuck up your liver and opioids and get you addicted. I mean, I'm going on a tangent here, but it's how strongly I feel about how fucked up our system really is. I mean,
no,
Texas,
it is.
you know,
No, it is fucked up. It is fucked up, and you know, we don't want to be like Canada. While I read the comments, it's not like we want to be like Canada and everything, but why can they give them the opioid and why can't that be cannabis?
Why the fuck not?
You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how one is fine and one is going to be said by Jeff Sessions, no. Why don't you switch it all the way around then and make, you know what I'm saying? It just, it's just a hard thing to deal with because it just doesn't make sense, you know?
Sub just sent me something cool. I mean, we are starting to see cannabis fucking trials. You know, I just sent me one in for here in Arizona where they're taking in patient trials, and we are going to start seeing some statistics on what cannabis can and cannot do, which will be really huge. It's just, then it'll turn into what will the feds accept? I mean, are they going to accept a test from ASU on a bunch of us fucking potheads? Are they going to think they're just a bunch of fucking stoners and it's bullshit? I want to say there's only one testing facility in the whole entire country that the feds actually recognize at this point. Yeah. So,
I did some reading. I did some reading here while you were talking, and it looks like for Texas, apparently in February they opened one dispensary, and it doesn't even give the location of where the dispensary is.
So how do you,
dude? So far, you have to get it. There's 18 board certified doctors in the state of Texas, and you have to get approved by 2 to use the CBD oil for your epilepsy. Jesus. And then
probably want you to have a seizure right in front of them.
Probably.
I mean, you know,
yeah.
It's really hard to prove. So
you're not getting
my wife, the nerds have kind of seen on Instagram, but we did our launch on Saturday, and my wife got severely dehydrated while she was out there, and that is our fault. We didn't drink enough water. In Arizona, just like Texas, is a brutal fucking bitch, and you can get
it's
so quick. But she, from what I understand, I mean, I feel like she had a seizure in the middle of the night. It was either a seizure or a stroke or something along those lines, where I woke her up. I had to call 911. She went to the hospital, those kind of things, and they told me the only way they can actually prove epilepsy or a seizure or those kind of things is to really just sit there and monitor you. So you got to get approved by 2 doctors. That means you got to have seizures 2 fucking times in an embarrassing way in front of a bunch of fucking people that you don't know. Like, how sad is this system, man?
Well, not only that, it says that after you get approved by the 2 doctors, which no telling where they are, Texas is very huge for those of you that haven't been here. So there could be one like in this corner and one in this corner. So, you know, you have to travel all over the freaking state.
Good luck.
Possibly. I mean, I'm assuming one's probably in Houston since that's the biggest medical center, you know. But it says that you have to get approved by both of those 2. Then to pick up your special medicine, you get it from your physician. But it's showing here that they're supposed to be opening by the middle of this year, so fairly soon, 3 dispensaries: Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, which is the 3 biggest points in Texas, and especially Austin. Austin is one of the most cannabis-friendly places, even though it's not legal. Like, they've decriminalized it to where if you have under 2 ounces, you just get a ticket, and you're free to go.
The hipster spot, the trendy spot.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking Texas is so big. I mean, I've traveled through Texas 4 times, and Jesus Christ, it's like traveling through its own fucking country.
Yeah.
So, you know, traveling through Texas and California is the worst 2 places in the world to fucking travel through. 7 o'clock. We're almost gonna go on break. As Sub would say, grab your pipes, bongs, bowls, pipe, vaporizers, joints, blunts, all that good stuff. Bust it out, get high, fired up. We're gonna listen to Mendo Dope's new CD, Roll Call. The song is called Mendo Dope House. This shit is dope. I was listening to it fucking earlier. You guys are gonna love it. When we get back, we'll finish off this conversation about regulations and insurance and all that other shit. We'll touch base on what Sub has going on and what we have going on in Arizona. Then we'll wrap this thing up. And there is not going to be an after show tonight. And I'd say keep an eye on Subcool's IG. He'll be going live, smoking hash, doing that kind of stuff. So here we go. Mendo fucking Dope House. New track on their new CD 2018. I think you guys are going to fucking love it.
It's bumping. Time to dab.
Time to dab.
Smoked out, they not ready. They not ready.
I don't just grab the mic and spit flows. I hike the mountains where the ganja grows. Put seeds in the ground, dip round and flip. Then cruise out of town on a business trip. My mode is hustle, my mind's on interest. Profits, income, skrilla money, get this. I ain't eating off CD sales. Bootleggers took them right off the shelf. Downloading every beat, they got another cheap. Me and Reek Daddy just trying to get a piece. Be a beast, only way to survive. So we sell dope and grow trees from 9 to 5. Spit rhymes over beats made by Pleasel. Sipping on Sierra Nevada, that BL. Break down a tree and weigh it up on a scale. I don't gotta say it, let the instigate.
I don't just rap, I'm at codes and sell dope. I don't just rap, I don't just rap, I don't just rap. I'm at codes and sell dope. How they gon' find me at the Mendo Dope House? I don't just rap, I'm at codes and sell dope. I don't just rap, I don't just rap, I don't just rap. I'm at codes and sell dope. How they gon' find me at the Mendo Dope House? I don't just rap, I'm at codes and sell dope. Cause if you don't, you'll be hella broke, busted like a water balloon. Plotting on a quick lick all afternoon. Who gives a fuck about a felony? I let the sheriff in the motherfucking deputy. Always keep a fat weapon with me, making defecate. Love guts and feet. I be what is known as a thug nigga, block nigga. Can't be stopped like a how to cop killer. Smack go villas for the skrilla. I get you one top deep, this 30 dick split you. Rip you, split you all the way over. Playing things out like a game controller. Money on the table where we eat and smoke out. How they gonna find me at the Mendo Dope House?
I don't just rap. Yo, let me back at it. Y'all can't find me. I'm in the treetops. If I ain't at the smoke, I'm at the weed shop. Quick to pass you by, you got bunk. I'm out to meet up with the cutties who got stuck. Funky hydrate doja so kill. Take one sip of this pain that I spill. Reeled in my fishing line, hooked with bait. Double up my profit when I cook the shake. I make something from nothing, turn that nothing into what you could be puffing. Psychoactive bubble hash stuffing. Words with lacings, yeah, I'm from the nation. A weed nerds, my folks don't get statements. I ain't no ordinary rapping cat. I kick MCs around like a hacky sack. Give me my wacky tobacco back before I snap. Sig artists calling them out. Yo shit, whack.
I don't just rap, I'm at codes and sell dope. I don't just rap, I don't just rap, I don't just rap. I'm at codes and sell dope. How they gon' find me at the Mendo Dope House? I don't just rap, I'm at codes and sell dope. I don't just rap, I don't just rap, I don't just rap. I'm at codes and sell dope. How they gon' find me at the Mendo Dope House?
Fuck yeah. I was just listening to their new CD earlier and I found that. I knew you fucking nerds would love that shit. I love that shit. Huge shout out to all the fucking mods here, kicking ass. Fada Mike, OG Brick, Sid Avery. Definitely still have to get you guys down. Anybody else that I forgot? All the nerds.
A lot of regulars.
You know, everybody else for sticking in with us. I appreciate it. I know I'm not your usual host, so it does mean a lot having 122 viewers sitting here and watching us. So fucking badass, guys. Badass. Fuck yeah. So let me make sure I at least finish this shit off here. So Sub is in LA picking up the judge's kit. He's judging the organic hash samples. We dropped off some cool little goodie packs to kind of get a feel of what's going on over in fucking California. So I know he'll be on. You guys will be able to jump on his IG again, get fucking high with Sub, hang out, chill. He's at a dope hotel, having a really good time. So make sure you show him some love. What else we got here? Let's see. CO2 generator. Dread, what the fuck's going on with the CO2 generator, dude?
Bomba clock. We took it down.
It's fucking garbage. So they're
it's not that it's garbage. It's not recommended for
small scale growing, right? So burning natural gas
inside your home where you live and sleep
is not a good idea. Okay, and I know Sub reached out to a couple different people, and we asked many different people about CO2 generators. Who did he end up landing on? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I mean, he called a couple buddies, and they said, dude, fucking CO2 generator. Oh, Hortilux. We talked with Hortilux, and they just said, hey, you know, gas burning CO2 is fucking good, and it's good for commercial applications, but when it's sitting right there next to your freaking bedroom, probably not a good idea. You know what I mean?
And for him, you know, that's just another added, with his breathing condition, that's probably not helpful.
Well, what they did was he said they added they added different stuff into natural gas that pump, you know, through your homes that you can smell. So if you have a gas leak, you can smell it. But you know, if you're just fucking pumping it in your room, it's not good for you. I guess. Yeah. Helps you sleep, Fada. Yeah, Jesus fuck.
Sure. Yeah. we never had a CO2 generator. We just had it there. We almost finished installing it and running the pipes, and then he had the revelation after he spoke to a couple people, woke up next day, said, take it back.
So that's not a completely sealed room. I mean, how many bottles are you guys going through? What's going on? Are you guys fucking spending a boatload of fucking money on CO2 now?
This is only the second 5 tanks of CO2 that we've gotten since we started.
Okay.
So it's not so expensive yet. But we're actually going through a little less now since, you know, we're on 12/12, so I have the CO2 coming off. So we're running through a tank every 2 days instead of a tank a day.
And are you still using a controller, and are you at your 1,500 parts per million during the whole 12 hours that it's on?
Yeah, between 1,250 and 1,500.
And and a tank every 2 days.
Tank every 2 days.
That's not too bad. All right.
And that was at what, 1,400 ppm?
That's about 14. Yeah, we could say 14 on average, 1350, 14.
Fuck yeah. I mean, that's not too bad. That means that the room is fairly sealed, and you guys are holding that CO2 in the fucking room. So
yeah,
that's not bad at all. So how is the garden doing? I mean, I haven't been in the garden in a while. The lights come on at night, so I'm usually off and doing my own thing by then. How's the garden doing? What week are we on? How is everything smelling?
Looks like week 2, I think.
Week 2, everything's smelling great. Getting ready to, well, yesterday I fed with some dragonfly medicine, some of the radiant green and some of the fat flowers. So gave them some bloom. I also gave them some seaweed as well.
Okay. And with the new seaweed product.
The new seaweed product.
Fuck yeah.
Blue Planet.
Super concentrated.
Super concentrated.
Okay.
I gave them some of that.
Do they seem happy? I mean,
gave them some
Humboldt honey.
Fuck yeah. Some sugar in there, some Humboldt honey.
Fuck yeah.
And also, I sprayed those 2 that were nitrogen deficient, the yellowing purple punches.
Yep.
I gave those a foliar spray. See if they take to that.
And so you're week 2, and you're still doing a little foliar.
We're doing a little foliar week 2.
So we almost need the fucking cow carb. I mean, we almost need the cow carb now to kind of see what's going on.
Those 2,
well, I'm gonna email him once the show's over, and I'll give him the address and send it out.
That would be cool. Yeah, sounds like I know our purple punches. I'll let Dredd kind of jump on this, but we did, as everybody's seen, we did everything in the big 100-gallon pots, and then the purple punches ended up in 15s, right? 15s. And they're fucking huge. I mean, they're big as shit. They got put all through the grow efficient cages there, and they got. I don't want to say strip and flipped. I mean, but they kind of did, right? They kind of got strip and flipped.
At 15 gallons, are they root bound?
We think they may be a little root bound. You know, they're fucking big, dude. They're big. So
well, I told Sub I might have not put as much super soil in those 2. I'm not saying specifically that I realized or I know that, but I'm saying that might be what the problem was.
So thinking about large scale production, we're really going to have to worry about mixing this thing fucking well,
or
right?
just putting the right amounts of everything has to be calculated and weighed out or some kind of scaled out. You know?
The cool fucking thing is that
how like a cement mixer would do, or is that too rough on it?
I'm not sure. I know Sub is. He said you can mix it too much, so they've used a couple things that mix it way too much. I'm sure Sid can jump on this one a little bit, but we've had Soil King reach out. We've had Build a Soil reach out, and they've let us know that they can make a pre-bagged Subcool super soil for us.
Okay.
Here to Arizona, ship it to Nevada, California, wherever the hell we need it to go. But it almost seems like that needs to be what happens. You know, it seems like we need machinery to mix this shit around. You almost need machinery to mix this shit around, right?
Yes.
Like I would love to get Soil King like stuff, you know, down here in Texas, but Lord, the shipping, like for a decent bag of Ocean Forest, the Fox Farm, is almost $20 a bag.
Holy shit!
Monsanto owns that.
So you don't have many hydro stores down there, Madiger?
Oh, there's plenty of hydro stores, but I mean, it's just the prices are ridiculous. You would be better off. That's why I mix my own stuff. It's cheaper for me to mix my own soil. And since I live out kind of on a farm, I go collect my own manure, my own compost from under rotten trees. Like, I don't spend anything. I probably have close to 10 yards of soil, like a big pile I scrape up with the tractor. And I just let it sit all year, and then I flip it, and it just steams up.
It's probably safer for you that way, too, being where you're at. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary being in a state like you're in, buddy. I'm not envious. Let's put it that way. You know, so
I mean, it works. I mean, I love to grow a lot of my food, you know, so that's what I mainly use it for.
Yeah,
tomatoes, corn, peppers, and dude, freaking the tomatoes, man. I'm still blown away. Like, I'm gonna post some pictures. In 2 weeks, they jumped 1.5 feet.
Fuck yeah. And that was all using the
All I did was get some of my compost and threw literally just a hand. I didn't even read the instructions. I just poked a hole down in the thing and threw in a handful and watered it in, and it went nuts.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. So I'm just checking out your links before we get done with this, and you gave me a couple really fucking cool links about the industry standard, or I guess it wouldn't be the industry standard, but what cannabis is going for on a legal market. So I've been doing a little bit of streaming here, and I'm the first fucking sentence alone blows me away. I mean, it says that the most expensive fucking gram of cannabis is $32.66 in the illicit market in fucking Tokyo. I mean, what the fuck? Motherfuckers need to start jumping on this Tokyo game.
I suppose you guys need to go international.
Yeah. Well, we're not going international that way. I mean, so a little update on us. I mean, we can kind of segue into that. So Arizona is fucking booming. We did our drop last Saturday. Dredd was out there. Jess was out there. We had Farmer John out there. Lucy, Victorious Meds, Sub, fucking. We had our lawyers out there. We had everybody out there. I think we brought a big majority of the heady market out there. Everybody seems really excited for the product. We're still innovating. We haven't exactly created an anchor product yet. We're still doing a lot of R&D. We're still working out our grow, figuring out where we're going to be. I mean, the bureaucratic side of this, the paperwork side of this is just a fucking nightmare. I mean, every time Dredd sees me, my head is either in a fucking laptop or in a fucking book or on a fucking phone call or whatever. And I mean, I kind of wonder how some of these companies survive when you see people just walking around and fucking not doing anything with themselves, because Sub and I have our foot on the fucking gas pedal every single fucking day from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. And some days it feels like we're not getting anywhere, and other days it feels like we're just fucking crushing it. But we're doing well. Arizona's good. It looks like Nevada will be shit. I mean, I hate to throw timelines on all this shit, but we're hoping for the next 60 days in Nevada, where we want to launch our pen line in Nevada right away. When I was over in Vegas, dude, I mean, fucking, I paid $32 for a fucking pre-roll that tasted like fucking garbage.
There's your Tokyo prices.
Oh, dude, but pens were everywhere. I mean, pens were everywhere. And if I could supply somebody like me with a dank pen with some sauce inside of it, an indica sativa hybrid or indica sativa CBD, and have them be off to the fucking casino and chilling at the strip club and whatever. I mean, maybe whatever, you know, whatever they're doing out there in their Vegas trip. I mean, shit, they could be at a freaking soccer game or a football game or an opening of some sort or a concert or anything. And you know, the pen would be a game changer for us. So we are super excited for fucking for Nevada. Mendocino County, we're still working out our stuff in Mendocino County. All this stuff takes so much time, guys. So California's laws are changing so much, and we're hearing about raids, and nobody has a streamline of how we get nursery licenses. And I mean, we're just throwing money at these states trying to get the right answers. And sometimes that's not the best way to go about it, but it's the only way that we can stay ahead of the game at this point. So Mendocino is growing our genetics. We should see something there within the next 90 days, you know, if not a little bit longer. We're working on Washington, where we've had some talks in Alaska. Our major focus right now is building the structure. Now that we've proved concept, we've proved that the heady guys love the product, we've proved that they will buy the product, that we're not just, you know, and we're not trying to overcharge fucking everybody. Like, I just want to throw this out there. We had a really cool fucking situation happen to us, and this goes in the lines of who we are and how we want to go about business. So innovation. There's a brand out there, and I won't fucking plug them, but there's a brand out there that came out with THC isolate, right? They put it on the shelf. They put it at $120 a gram. We came out with a product that's better than theirs. Still a THC isolate. Our numbers are better. Our product is cleaner. Everything like that. We looked at each other in this small little freaking room that we were in, and we said, dude, you know, we looked at everybody's numbers and we said, $70 fucking dollars, dude. $70 a gram. We're gonna undercut these guys so freaking hard, because there's no reason for us to come in $120 a gram just to match these guys' price. Like, we don't want to help other people create this bullshit ass set point. We want to constantly drive the industry and create our own set points. So take that as an example of what we're going to continue to do in the future. Is we're going to always try to give a quality product at the best possible price. Everybody has to take into consideration that we do have to make money for the work that we do. I mean, Sub and I both work 20 hours a day, and I can tell you we do not even come close to bringing in the kind of capital that you guys think that we do. I mean, we fucking grind, and we know that one day it will come back, and people are gonna be happy with our success, and not just look at us as like a bunch of assholes that launched cannabis and sold weed. I mean, yes, we all did start out as a bunch of fucking drug dealers, but we do care about our product. We care about our patients. We care about our friends. We care about our state. We care about this fucking industry. So let's just keep that in mind, that when you buy our product, I mean, or when you see our product, there's a lot of fucking love and a lot of thought and a lot of hard work and dedication that goes into putting this product on that shelf for you guys. Yeah. We are not fucking Pura, you know. So
for now, but you guys are doing limited releases. Do you plan to eventually get out where you're on the shelf at all times?
Yes, sir. So the limited release thing is fun, dude. I mean, let me kind of spin it on you. I mean, the limited release thing allows us to collab. So, yep. I'll just fucking jump into it. All right. I mean, we will be collabing until the end of time. Innovation is the major reason for our success, at least the way that we see our success. So the only way that we can constantly innovate is to constantly collaborate. Mm-hmm. The people that are innovating are the guys we're seeing on fucking Instagram. You know, they'll jump on and they'll do something, and all of a sudden you see this new fucking product and it's badass. Well, that fucking guy struggles to get his product on the shelf, and he ends up sending his product through the black market, and he's putting his stuff on YouTube, and he's trying to get popular, and he's trying to get noticed, but he has no way. And then you get a big money guy or or somebody that has a little bit of foothold that is just sitting on the other side doing their doing everything in their power to try to figure out this tech and to apply this tech in their corporate structure. What we want to do is we want to find that fucking guy and we want to collaborate with him and we want to put his product on the shelf and we want to make sure he follows our fucking standard and that the product is dank and it's clean and it's something that the weed nerds want and it's something that the general cannabis community would want. I mean, we are hip. We are fucking, we are going to constantly try to stay right on top of the wave. So will we ever get out of limited drops? I really fucking hope so, Madiger. But I think what we'll get out of limited drops on is stuff like vape pens, flour, edibles. We'll have a anchor product for those kind of categories, but the heady mindset always changes. So no, for the heady customer or the heady client or the heady, associate, no, we will always do limited drops on different products with different fucking people, with different medicines, with different breeders. That is what makes us fucking different, is that we can do this shit. I mean, Sub's Rolodex is a mile long, and he allows me to utilize that Rolodex. So who knows who you see a collaboration with? It may be Kyle Cushman, it may be Brothers Grimm, it may be, everybody's already seen that we have something brewing with GG Strains, and that was a lot of fucking work there. But there's bomb bubble hash out there. There's really good holy water out there. Who fucking knows what the next guy is going to come out with? But I can tell you, we're going to look for that guy and we're going to give him a fucking chance.
I think it's cool that you guys kind of can pull from like the underdog crowd rather than like the huge people. You can really connect the community between these large corporations and just the average home grower. You can pull the underdog guy that's growing some massive fire and say, hey, we can pull you in here and process your material as long as you're meeting our standards.
Well, we can't process their material, but we can use their IP. We can use their tech. Okay. So if, say somebody comes out with a new way of making, I don't know, maybe there's a new bubble hash process that's mixed with fucking who knows what, where people are looking into different mixes. Maybe there's a new distillate product, because distillate fucking sucks. Let me tell you. I mean, I fucking hate distillate. I hate these artificial, naturally derived terps. Somebody is going to figure out a better way. And we hope to be able to give them a royalty opportunity with us and make them shine, make them popular, make them part of the dank. This is what you're going to see from us is we're Death Row Records, baby. I mean, we're going to fucking grab everybody we can and we're going to fucking shovel them up underneath this fucking umbrella and we're going to take over the goddamn world, dude.
So I have another question is, I know y'all, Sub was talking about once he can, finish the pool garden, he wants to make a lot of RSO and get that to the patients. Is that something that he wants to do like on a massive scale, like through Farmer John, like in the lab? Or is that something he wants to kind of do? Because I know a few months back there was Coley from Extractocraft. So somewhere in the house is a little machine to make your own RSO.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we got that. So what's cool about our law is our law is set up kind of shitty. I mean, it was worked really hard in the beginning. So as a patient or a caregiver, we can only give our product away to the patient that you're growing for, or you can donate your overage to a dispensary. Now, most dispensaries don't let the grower leverage themselves enough to say, hey, I'm going to donate this to you and you're going to give it away. A lot of how it happened in the beginning is, and it wasn't supposed to be this way, is they would donate a bunch of meds to the dispensaries and then the dispensary would give them a fucking job, dude. They would say, all right, we're going to pay you $40,000 a year. You're going to be here X amount of hours a week. Well, they would give them a salary. They would justify the salary, but they would also expect the overage of your garden as well, gotcha, for your DA card, for all that stuff. With how we've structured our deal, we feel that we can, and it's not solidified yet, but this is how it has to move. So we know that if it's not going to be Urban or some of our other partners, we'll put the shit on fucking IG and we'll ask a goddamn dispensary out there who's going to do it in Arizona and who'd be willing to do it with us, and we'll fucking market the shit out of it and we're going to give it away through them. So yes, our law allows us to grow cannabis underneath the caregiver law. It allows us to give the cannabis to me and Dred and his wife and anybody that's a patient of the caregiver here in this home. And then we can give the overage to the dispensary as long as we file it on our taxes. So we'd actually be able to use it as, I believe, as a write-off. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see how the whole thing goes.
So I don't see.
There's fucking something we got to do. We got to do some sort of tax papers at the end of the year saying
So
that.
as long as it gets to a dispensary, y'all can maybe spread it through dispensaries throughout the state, if possible, if there's enough, and then they can give it to any patient as long as they have a card.
Correct. Absolutely.
That's cool. So you could kind of do like a mass community effort, you know.
Yeah.
That way, the people that really need it, as long as they have a card and they can go through a dispensary, then
I think we just have to say that we did it. I mean, I doubt we get a write-off or something like that, but I'm pretty sure we have to tell the state that we did it X amount, you know. But yes, and then the next thing that we're working on is allocating that RSO. I mean, we want it to go. We don't want it just to go to a dispensary and them to say, hey, for this day only, everybody gets fucking RSO, because I got a jug of RSO in my fucking house that I don't even use. It was, and I won't give it away because we made it for my grandmother that had cancer, and then she passed away. And it just has some sort of sentimental value to me where I don't care if it sits there and fucking rots. I mean, she used it, it helped her. We seen the tumors shrink from her using it, but she was so hooked on modern medicine, and she was so caught on the fact that, hey, if I don't use radiology and all this other bullshit, you know, chemotherapy and yada yada yada, that I'm gonna die. So she in return thought that the high from RSO was too harsh, and she went into chemo, and she survived with this for about 2 years. But myself, I believe if I'm ever in a position where I have cancer, I'm either going to die from that fucking cancer or I'm going to take RSO. There's not going to be chemotherapy for this guy, you know.
Is there any sort of hospital programs or CBD only programs through hospitals in Arizona?
Absolutely not. So, you know, CBD, we have a couple CBD dispensaries where you don't have to have a card, and we know that CBD is on a mass level on the internet and so on and so forth. But I would push people to really look at CBD as a whole, because when I considered doing a CBD company at one point in time, and CBD is sourced from so many different places. So don't fucking source your CBD from China or Asia or any of these outsourced countries. Get it from Colorado. Get it from one of these states that are right here in our very own nation, because you're getting a full spectrum CBD oil. You're getting, you know, I went and visited a hemp farm out in Colorado called Folium Biosciences. These guys mash down the whole entire fucking plant, stem, leaves, buds, the whole 9 yards, and they're making a true product. I mean, this was an AC/DC times I don't know, maybe a Harlequin sour tsunami kind of deal. You know, they had 3 or 4 products that tested under that 0.03, but that would be the CBD I want, because I know that it takes all the cannabinoids to make CBD work properly inside my body. So anybody that's watching this Weed Nerd, that uses CBD, I would say USA CBD only. CJ Apeo. I'm sure I just butchered your fucking name, dude. I'm sorry, but USA CBD only. Yes, sir. I mean, we are using medicinal cannabis that tests below a CBD level that's considered commercial hemp, and we have laws that allow for that. So USA CBD products only. Fuck yeah.
Yes, that's what Pado's saying. The source, you know, by Extractocraft, you could, you know, if you have your own, or if you could, you know, grow your own at home, you could make your own medicine right there and cut out the third-party costs. But, you know, if you don't have that available to you, then, you know, grow at your home and, you know, grow your own medicine. Because I've seen it's, you know, CVS sells it, but it's not the same quality as getting it from a grower or growing it yourself, you know?
Correct. And everybody knows we got fucking Deadlights. Deadlights is tested in, we've had almost 10 tests now that's tested over 20 to 1. So we have a seed right in our arsenal right now that you can get high CBD, low THC, We have 3 1-to-1s, 2 1-to-1s, 1 in testing, Hercule and Pennywise, and then we have the new Harlequin, which is Harlequin times Space Queen. I imagine that's going to be either a 2-to-1 or a 1-to-1. So we're still waiting to see some people grow that out. And we also have, I want to say it's Stevel, Hercule, and
I'll have to look on his site. It's on his site. Let me see.
Yeah, plug us in if you could, Madiger. But we have 2 new CBD strains, and I know one has Hercule in it. And Jesus Christ, would you not mind growing a fucking nice 1-to-1 with fucking just beautiful terpy purple fucking buds? I mean, that's the kind of medicine I want to be taking instead of a little white pharmaceutical fucking pill that destroying my liver and I'll probably die tomorrow from. I mean,
looks like you've got Pennywise, Deadlights, and then let me look through.
Oh, this would be a new tester. Stevel is a new tester. Victorious Meds in the house. What is Stevel, Mrs. Meds?
Chinese CBD, guaranteed to have pesticides and probably extracted using hexane.
Mm-hmm. And why that is because it's big commercial fields, and I actually did some extensive research on this when I went to start my own CBD company. I mean, they're just big commercial fields, and they don't have a lot of CBD and THC in them. So
okay, Urkel and Pennywise.
Yep, Urkel and Pennywise. I mean, come on now, Urkel and fucking Pennywise. Jesus Christ, my mouth is watering right fucking now. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, they're just sourcing from big fucking fields. These plants have very little amounts of CBD and THC, so it takes a lot of processing in order to get these really high numbers that we need in order for it to be beneficial. With these high numbers, I mean, if you're taking minute amount of CBD, you're also taking minute amount of carcinogens or potentially bad shit, you know, and we don't want to smoke bad shit. I mean, we use cannabis to stay fucking healthy, so. Do not smoke or use Chinese fucking CBD or fucking Russian. Actually, Russian CBD Russian hemp was made for oil. To be honest, if you want a cool fun fact, Chinese and there's another one. Chinese hemp was made for textile, and there's a fucking another one too, but I forgot. So USA CBD only. Fuck yeah.
This would be a great conversation for Jason at Pheno Seed Bank, man. This is like he loves this stuff.
Dude, I mean, he would bellish in this. Jason at Pheno Seed Bank, he actually sent me his new Awaken seeds. I want to say his Awaken is out and available now. Please double check his website. He sells all kinds of CBD fucking products. We love him. We love his product. Clean, quality, fucking badass dude. So make sure you hit up Jason from Pheno Seed Bank and give him a shout. Madiger, this has been a fucking awesome show, dude. I mean, I don't know how the weed nerds and everybody's been feeling, but shit, I feel like we've just fucking crushed so many different things tonight. And from what we thought was going to be a pretty boring show because we didn't have too much going on, I mean, we've really spun into
a lot of knowledge.
Quite a fucking good show, man. Hell yeah. So just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, let's see. This week, what do we got going on this week? I know we had some people. No question too stupid. Was there any questions that we seen in chat that we may have missed?
Always.
420. If anybody is in Arizona and they want to see us at 420, we will be at Urban Greenhouse during the day. And we'll probably hang out there until, I don't know, 3-4 o'clock. Then there is an after party with, I don't fucking know, somebody, but we'll post it on Instagram. So you'll be able to find us at the after party 420 somewhere. It will be with, I think it is with Monarch Wholesale. We just met them dudes. They were on our Instagram. Fucking, I just got to say the Arizona community and how much they have acknowledged and just, you know, allowed us to come into their system with open arms, even though we really stir the fucking pot. I mean, we're just a bunch of heady ass dudes out there fucking bringing product on the shelf and talking shit and screaming at the top of our lungs and taking pictures and taking videos inside dispensaries where there's fucking weed and all kinds of shit. I mean, we are fucking the loosest fucking group of people ever. And the state just fucking loves us. So I just got to say thank you to anybody out here in Arizona that came and seen us. Huge shout out to fucking Urban Greenhouse. Huge shout out to Monarch Dispensary. High grade, swell, fucking Shit, I know I'm gonna forget some people. Mint Dispensary, fucking all these guys that have reached out to us that want our product, that want our stuff on the shelf, that want us out here, that want to see the fucking weed nerds. I mean, Arizona loves the fucking weed nerds. We love Arizona, so that's fucking badass. 421, we will be hanging with Vaping at the Clarendon. The Clarendon is a hotel in Phoenix, big fucking pool party kind of situation. People swimming, rolling joints, taking dabs. We'll be up in the hotel room. We'll have fucking rigs and dabs and backpacks full of fucking shit. I mean, we're just going to be doing our fucking thing. Reef, no. Reef is just kind of plugging on Reef. If I'm catching you correctly, Sid, Reef is Reef's here in Arizona, but we haven't talked to them too much. And Reef houses the Jungle Boys group and all that. So we may be in Reef one day. That's a whole nother hurdle and a whole nother fucking weed nerd. Reef would be a whole nother fucking weed nerd. I mean, we could go on 2 hours talking about Reef. So, fuck. I think that was all the questions I seen. I don't see anything else on my shit. You didn't see any questions, right? I mean,
looks like we called them as we saw them.
Fuck yeah. Make sure everybody watches Subcool's IG, see what's going on. Watch what we're doing this week. We'll be plugging some new product. We'll be getting some new shit. I mean, we are always fucking doing something cool. So I got to say thank you to all the fucking weed nerds for allowing me to host the show today and just, you know, sticking with us. 135 fucking viewers right now. And I'm not the weed nerd. So that really makes my night. I was pretty nervous to host the show tonight. So fuck yeah. Thank you guys. We will catch you guys on the flip. We'll see you on IG. We'll see you next week. We'll see you where the fuck we see you. We are not going to be at SoCal. That fucking sucks. I know it sucks, but we got too much fucking shit going on here to be at SoCal. So sorry guys. Yeah, you know.
Kind of a whole other ballgame. You're not in this, you know.
Dude,
you're in a different thing.
We're so fucking busy, bro. I mean, it is what it is. So let's go out on a little bit of Mendo Dope. My Garden. Fuck it.
One of my favorite.
We come to ring, cha la 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 la. Mendo Dope. Yeah, big up the road, see what I'm saying? Endo out down, out. Bring strong, come to tell them. Bring strong, come to tell them. Mendo Dope. Hey.
Take a dab.
Yeah, it's all day. Ain't no one got a garden like Mendo. High-grade ganja.
My garden's so special, garden's so nice. No powder mildew, no spider mites. Cali sunshine, 1,000-watt lights. Indoor, outdoor, what's your type?
Come Cali, man. Give me some of that good Mendo. Legalize the world, now the true farmer, man. Vanilla push cheese, quick Mendo.
One more time, let me hit it. Ooh, fat trichome, on my weed so gooey. Lace with hats, no I don't smoke chewy. Blaze to ash, burn it down to the dew.
In my garden, not the healing of the nation. We are one, now the youth meditation.
Ain't nobody got a garden like mine. Try to look for it, you're never gonna find my garden. It's one of a kind. Grow in the Cali sunshine. Cause ain't nobody got a garden like mine. Try to look for it, you're never gonna find my garden. It's one of a kind. Grow in the Cali sunshine.
No matter what, we keep on fighting. Can't hold us down. Like a fire that keeps on burning, it grows all around. La 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 la. Charlie's a blazing my sound. Cha la 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 la. Charlie's a blazing my sound. Cha la 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 la. Means I'm wait for the what's found.
I'll take a small one.
Cherry boy, Dairy Queen in the bush, and my friend called Space Bomb.
quick plug on Avery Sid. Sid Avery says that he can actually do some cards. So if anybody is in the California area and needs some cards, make sure you hit up at Sid Avery.
And he's up there in up near where Stubble was, I believe.
What's that?
I believe he's up there near Santa Rosa, somewhere up in that area.
Yep. Santa Rosa.
How does that work, though? If you make it up there, can you mail it?
What's that?
How does that work? If he makes it up there, can you mail it within the state of California?
I'm not sure. I would probably plug Sid Avery. I doubt you can ship any cannabis at all, ever. Sorry.
Gotta look forward and you're never gonna find my garden is one of a kind. Grown in the Cali sunshine. Oh my God, caterpillars, bugs. Oh my God, they're eating up your nuts. Oh my God, mold in your buds. Your garden looks infested. Yes, it does. Oh my God, caterpillars, bugs. Oh my God, they're eating up your nuts. Oh my God, mold in your buds. Your garden looks infested. Yes, it does.
Caterpillars and bugs, we're not interested in
Not mine, I'm clean.
Goddamn.
No yellow leaves, all healthy and green. Let your herbs dry out, they won't get root rot. Original strains, we grow what you do not. Ain't nobody's tree smelling like mine. Smart from caged up, never gonna find this strain. Charred up, personal time. Listen to the patter of the tree surface rhyme. Ain't nobody got a garden like mine. Try to look for it, you're never gonna find my garden. It's one of a kind, grown in the Cali sunshine. Cause ain't nobody got a garden like mine. Try to look for it and you're never gonna find my garden. It's one of a kind, grown in the Cali sunshine.
Fuck yeah, y'all. We'll catch you on the flip. Peace. Have a good night.